I want you to think about the people you meet, the things you do for others, and just how necessary they are. Just because you were taught, this is nice, this is what we do, this is what you should, must, ought do, I would like you to take stock of that and wonder to yourself, well, maybe I'm going to have a day for me, taking care of me on a single, individual, private, with your journal, pencil case, etc., coffee date, just for you. Choose somewhere where maybe you don't often go and you're probably not going to bump into someone you know. And you know, even if you do go and you do bump into someone you know, and if they come over and say, oh, hi, I can't believe you're here, can I join you? I believe it's absolutely fine to say, well, actually, it's lovely to see you too, but today is a day for me, taking care of me, so I'm not actually going to be able to sit and spend time chatting with you. I'm working on time for me. So, but it's lovely to see you, and at some point we will catch up. So we can find a way to say no, cut off, leave me alone, off, give me a break. We can find ways to say that without being offensive and rude, unless they're offensive and rude to you, and take care of you. I was in a local coffee place that I often go to with my journal and pens, and it's all just for me this time. And it was a very busy day, and a lady had just been served, and she looked around. There was no seats, but there was a seat with me, and she came over and she said, would you mind if I join you? And I said, absolutely no problem, have a seat. However, I'm not available to chat or talk about anything at all. I'm really focusing on something that I'm doing. But yes, take a seat. And I was able to just stay okay about that. I didn't have any guilt. Now, 10 years ago, my critic would have been having such a go at me, like, how rude, Cass. Why were you so rude to that poor woman? She didn't even ask if she wanted to talk with you. But I was laying down my boundaries just like that, straight up. She possibly saw in me the kind of person I am, and I'm very warm and welcoming and friendly. I usually spend, a lot of time with others, giving to others, because I really do genuinely care. However, that particular day, I needed downtime for me. I'd gone there specifically for me. I find it very easy today to say, yes, of course, feel free, use the seat, half the table, but please don't bug me, I'm here for me. And I can say that in a nice, polite, kind way without being offensive, even though inside of me, I do have the capacity, let's face it, in my shadow, I've got the capacity to almost growl. What are you choosing me for? Go and sit at somebody else's table. I have that capacity in me because I'm just a human being. But I wouldn't do that to someone. I can find ways to be kind and warm and friendly and welcoming without having to give my time and space to them, to a complete stranger. And she sat down and she had a coffee and she didn't bother me, and I completely was able to cut off. It was like there was a shield halfway through the table, and I was really able to stay focused. But as I say, 10 years ago, that would have been a whole different story. I would have felt like I had to say, yes, of course, no problem, join me, it's fine. And then find time to, say, how are you? How's your day going? Have you been shopping? All those kind of things that I was raised to be a very polite girl. And I knew this is the way we behave. This is what we do. This is what we say. But I'm inviting you to stop all of that. Stop all of that stuff. And just ask yourself, do I really want to be standing here peeling loads of potatoes and making this big dinner which will be gobbled down by, others in about 15-20 minutes. No one will give it. And I've maybe wasted 3 hours of my day cooking that meal for them when they're all grown-ups, they're all very capable of cooking themselves. I've got other things that I want to do now because my kids have grown. I've done all that. And I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I've raised someone else's child too. I took on somebody else's child who was 4 years old at the time. They're now in their 20s. But why would I waste my time on that when my life now is for me?